morning.
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 We gotten any closer to figuring out what's going on with the Android issue, Ismail?
Um, so as I mentioned, this has been a problem in previous builds where this user has been not authenticated but signed, like onboarding has been complete. I guess we didn't used to look for that in the past and the other builds where if the onboarding is complete, we don't really care if they're authenticated since he was able to use the app, but the is signed in was false, now called is authenticated. In the new, you know, we should be looking for both. They should be, Fiverr should be able to say, yeah, this user authenticated and they should be onboarded, which is when we moved to one source of truth instead of multiple, we're seeing this bug where this user is somehow onboarded but not authenticated. And since
How
this
many
was, huh?
how many others will that affect?
I haven't seen any others so far. I don't know how that. I mean, it shouldn't happen to begin with. Not even in the old bit, it shouldn't really happen.
Yeah.
Like Firebase should be able to authenticate you, and if it's not able to, then that means there's something wrong.
Okay. Why is
Um,
deleting the app and reinstalling it not working?
so far, I haven't been to get a clear uninstall and reinstall from this guy. And what that means is I always get session replays starting after the code, verified code. And other than that, I get him the closest we've got is him clearing the cache, but I never seen him actually record him uninstalling and reinstalling the app. And I don't know why it's so hard for him to just send us a full uninstall and reinstall and record it so we can see.
I mean,
Because that should fix it. Like I almost guarantee you that will fix it.
Todd, were you working with him on that, Jeremy?
Not directly, just through Chantel.
Okay. Didn't we have a screen record or something?
We have a screen record of him properly uninstalling Sircles, but he didn't send us a recording of him reinstalling.
When you say properly uninstalling, was he clearing cache and data?
Yes, correct.
So,
But did he uninstall in the video? I don't know if I missed that part, but did he click uninstall?
Yeah, his video, he shows that he force stops the app. He goes into the settings and deletes cache, deletes data, and then does an uninstall. And that's where the video ends.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where the video ends. So it doesn't really help. Like I don't see the full story here.
do we want to ask him if he installed that for that? I mean, it's got the time stamp on the video, right? Can't we even just see if there was a new download at that point? Because there'll be a onboarding after that time.
I can see his last activity in the app was at 5:30 p.m. PST last night. Not sure if that's the last place we should check for activity. But then this morning, I asked Chantel to ask Jeremy to do a screen record of his install from the Play Store.
Hmm.
So we're waiting for that.
Okay, but I mean, go back to what I said. We saw that he cleared the cache and everything, right? As you expect. So if he uses the app after that time, then he must have a new install.
Correct.
Right? So then that's it. We don't really need to ask him anymore.
Well, it's how he installed it. I want to see him download it from the Play Store.
How else can he get it?
I don't even, I feel like there's something that we're missing here. Like he's providing partial videos, so we have no clue what happens once he hits that uninstall button. Who knows? What happens is maybe his phone isn't fully offloading the data. We don't have all of that information that we need from the video that was provided last night.
But Todd, you said he cleared his data.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it does show that he cleared cache for data.
We have him doing that,
Okay.
but what we'd like to see, just for our own minds, is after he does that, don't end the video, reinstall the app. How does he reinstall the app?
When you say how does he, I'm still lost on how does he reinstall. There's only one way he can reinstall.
Right, there's only one way. I just want to see the full process. So, like, are we
you don't need, I mean, we can fill in the blanks. If he uses the app after he uninstalled it, he got it from the App Store. So, and if he uninstalled it properly, then it was properly uninstalled, data cleared, and he reinstalled it and it's still not working. So then what else do we need to know?
I don't know, something. I feel like there's something we're missing.
Okay, so in his screen sessions, if he had uninstalled it before, why does it start not on the sign up screen, but it starts after the code is entered?
You can't trust session replay. I see that all the time. I see it constantly. It happens every day. There's many people that I jump in their session replay onboarding well past the name, birthday screen.
I mean, he could be probably uninstalling and reinstalling, but why is it so hard to get to see it? Like, we've asked specific requests of him uninstalling, reinstalling
He doesn't work for us. So,
Correct.
So like we can't fire him. So it's
yeah, I know, but
that's why this is common. Anybody we ask to do anything, expect it's not going to be exactly how we ask. It's hard. It's just hard to get people to pay attention to anything and do it things. Especially, there's a lot of steps here. So let's not get hung up on it. Let's fix. We got to fix the problem. So if we're sitting here waiting for somebody to be like a teammate of ours, it's not going to happen. Like we can't count on that. So we have to rely on our team. Todd has several phones. Todd was just unexpectedly logged out yesterday on build 95. Did you see that, Ismail?
well,
what do you mean logged out?
Well, I'll explain because John, I learned something in talking to Jerry. Not that it solved anything, but I had a better understanding. When we were there last night, John, I thought I had Sircles open already in the foreground, which Ismail was looking and saw that there was no activity yesterday. That the only activity he saw was from the day before, from when I first did. We were doing those testing of the upgrading from like 92 to 95.
You said you were in the messages.
I thought I was, because I had 4 phones in front of me and I was using them all at the same time. And I must have been mistaken, because I was going around opening Sircles on each phone. I take the phone out of sleep mode, tap Sircles, go to the next phone, go to Sircles, tap it, go to the next phone. And I was trying to get into messages, but I think maybe where I was mistaken was when I first tapped on the icon, I think it opened up. It may have opened up to the sign up screen, not to the messages where the other phones were opening up to.
So you think it was the first time you?
I'm only saying that because I'm not certain, and the data that Ismail sees that there was no recorded activity in the app at all yesterday.
That doesn't mean that's not definitive.
It's not, but it just seems strange if I had access to the message lobby that there would have been activity recorded.
It should have been, and so for that phone number, there was no session replays all day.
Correct. No session replay except for 2 days ago at roughly 11:30 a.m.
All right. Okay. Well, let's fix the problem. So I don't want to just say, well, I don't know. We don't have a clear enough session replay or screen record. So I guess we'll just wait to see what happens. Because I don't want to wait and see what happens. This is going to probably affect thousands of people. So we have identified some problem, right? Ismail, maybe you could fill in a meme on the situation. Let's get all hands.
Well, that information is very not useful without like a session replay or logs or something to tell us what happened under the hood.
Sure, but there's so many users. I'm sure we'll find what we're looking for. Let's brief Emin, so he understands the problem as well. Emin, we have an urgent situation, and I want to put this fire out before it becomes an inferno. So can you tell him what you discovered there, Ismail?
Okay, so for a specific user, let's start with not with Todd, the other user. It seems that in the app in the past, if you go like session replays, if you go to development here, I'll forward you a file. I mean, so if you see the image I sent you, this isn't build like 98 or 89. You can see that the sign in is false, but the signed in and onboarded complete is true. And that was where we had multiple sources of truth, and the whole thing was a mess. Now that we have one source of truth, the user has to be signed in and onboarded. And since the signed in part is false, that's why in the new app 95, he can't get to the app. Because that signed in is marked as false. That means Firebase is telling us this guy did not authenticate himself. And therefore, that's the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing. Now, for how did this come to be is what we're trying to figure out. And so this guy says he's clearing the cache and so on and so on. But here's the thing: I just found something new with the screen records for the last one for him from yesterday. So if you guys see, I just sent 2 session replays. Now these are different sessions, but they both start from the exact same place. After he claims he had uninstalled and reinstalled, they start after the code verification, which means this guy is not authenticated yet, because he won't be if it starts after the code. And I mean, I would understand if one of them glitched, but both of them starting at the exact same time, like recording the session after the code, that doesn't make sense to me. I think when he opens the app, it goes to there right away. And I've seen a lot of people where the session replay is working fine. It starts from the sign up screen. So what's happening with this user is he's opening the app and it's taking him to. It's not taking him through the onboarding process. He did not see the sign up screen. I can almost guarantee you he did not. Based off the 2 session replays I just sent in developing, you guys can go and look at them yourselves. So either his phone is not clearing the cache properly, or I don't know, he's doing something wrong. But this is something local to him. This is not something related to the app, because the app won't it just won't start you after verification. And even if it does start you after verification, how will it get your user key, right? So the app won't well, I guess and in his case, if we look at let me see, if we're looking at these replays, we can see that the APIs are working because it's able to get him the suggested friends and so on. So that means we do have a user key, and the Cool Kids API is working. So this user, and let me see, if I look at the console logs, there should be an Adam, and the Adam has his first name, it has his last name, it has his phone number, it has all the information to Adam. But yeah, it's this guy didn't authenticate. He didn't go through the phone screen somehow, some way, and it started him right at. Let me see. It starts him right at. Here are more people you may know, and it did that in both session replays. So that I don't think that's a coincidence. That both session replays for him start at that screen.
Yeah. So yeah, I got the whole situation. Um, yeah, the session replays, it shows like when the user opened the app, it was not on the pre-authentication screens. It was like after the ones. Like
Mm.
as it's not saying is like where he follow people he might know. Um, yeah, like did he really like deleted the app? If he deleted the app, everything should be deleted.
Yeah, Todd saw him delete the app in a screen record.
Hmm.
Right, Todd? Todd, are you available here for the next like 45 minutes? I need you focused.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking with
I
my.
I I think we should get him onto a screen share and
We can, but let's start with
Yeah.
what we know.
To answer your question, John. Yes, I saw him with the proper steps, fully
Wait, just sorry.
uninstalled.
At the end, after he clicked uninstall, I still see the app.
I know he stopped the recording way too early because it is still there and it should disappear right after it uninstalls. And he
Yeah,
stopped right there to where we didn't actually get to see it removed from the screen.
But the
correct. So
steps were taken.
What's that?
The steps were taken, like the
Yes,
button
the
press.
steps were absolutely taken.
Yeah, so it's
Well,
not like
well,
it can magically
well, yeah,
just.
but the app didn't uninstall. Maybe it's not uninstalling on his phone. Maybe he has a bug. Because
That's really unlike. Let's not. I mean, maybe we didn't land on the moon. Let's not go with conspiracies. Let's
well, I'm not going based off of conspiracies. I'm going based off of what I see on the screen record. The app is still there after he stopped
Todd,
recording.
Todd, you've been doing this for many years. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
My thoughts are I've run into okay. Number one, I'm almost certain, like 99.9%, closer to 100. It's gone. It's not there. He's ended the recording way too soon. I've seen it a million times when I do my uninstall. It takes a second or so for that icon to disappear from the home screen or the
Okay,
screen.
so we have to go with the the most logical is that because he did the steps, the app's uninstalled. So like
Well,
yes, in
the
theory,
data is there. So if in this case, let's say he did uninstall the app, the phone then is holding the data somewhere
why do you say that?
because he, like Ismail said, there's a user key. He opens the app and he's authenticated. Like
Okay.
he's past the phone code screen.
And
So
I have run into this
yeah,
before.
so it's like he
It's-
has some data on his phone that was not removed with deleting the app. And if he truly deleted the app and reinstalled it, all that we can see is that there is some data on his phone that was held after the delete that claims that he was logged in when he reinstalled the app. So he did not get the full onboarding flow. I checked Amplitude, I checked Sentry. I do not see him doing anything about onboarding prior to this pick your friend step.
So how did he do? Isn't there two steps, Todd? You're supposed to clear cache and data. Did he do both?
He does both very clearly in the video he submitted.
So there's no more clearing of
No.
data that can happen, right? Okay.
No.
The data is coming from somewhere. How does this know? How does this phone know that when he installs the app that he does not go through onboarding and this user is Jeremy Castellini? How
You're basing
does
this
the phone
on
know that?
amplitude and the session replay, right?
Yes, we're using all the data that we have that he opens his phone and his user key is assigned. How does the phone know that it is him himself?
It's a good question. I've run into this, like I said, quite a few times when we used to use the Firebase app for testing, and in the Play Store, being part of the beta test. And I've had the same problem before, where I would do the
Does
full.
he have that kind of access?
No, no,
No.
no, no, no. Here's what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
He was
Maybe I should-
never just to answer your question. He was never like in our test group. Or
never
anything.
in our test. What I'm saying
Okay.
is, whether Play Store or any other scenario or environment, I've run into this before, and if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, but I had the same problem where I would open Circles after completely clean install, deleting cache, deleting data, and for some reason I'm authenticated already in some way, like I'm already in the app. There's no onboarding process.
I mean,
And what I've
okay.
had to do before, if I'm not mistaken, is I've had to force stop the Play Store and clear the cache of the Play Store, not the don't clear data of the Play Store,
That's kind of where I was going to go
clear
with this.
cache.
I mean, isn't there additional like we're doing this like we're letting Firebase authenticate by based on the device. So like can't the Play Store now be holding the authentication so the device it recognizes the device now when he reinstalls? Is that
Well,
possible?
when the, yeah, when the app get deleted, everything should be deleted. Like it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah,
Firebase,
even sorry, I mean, just to say that doesn't matter. You know why, John? Because his name is there, and his phone number is there. So even if Firebase decided to authenticate him, where are we getting the name from and the user key
Yeah.
and the date of birth if you never
Right.
entered them?
Well,
So,
Could it be stored
so
in the Play Store cache in some way?
maybe, but also something that I think we should add, like for this for the future is if the user is not authenticated and he's onboarding is marked as complete, and but we have to be very careful how we do this. But if he's not authenticated, then we should probably log him out, so that he
Right.
can restart from
Yeah,
start.
I
But
know.
again,
I've,
this one's scary because we have to do it in a way where we have to wait for it to fully we have to wait for the authentication to fully return us a value, not to be
yeah,
a null or undefined.
this is where that that childhood little like what's it called? It's like a, I forget the term, like a, not a lullaby, but there's this old saying of like the woman who swallowed the fly. Okay, so the woman swallowed the fly. I don't know why, and then she swallowed a frog to get the fly. I think she'll die. And then she swallowed a cat to get the frog to get the fly, and like then she eventually swallows a horse. It's like like I feel I don't want to keep adding. We've already done three. We've already swallowed a fly. We've already swallowed a frog, and we're like about to go another layer, and we keep.
Well, I would probably disagree on that because I don't think this is a problem with the app. I think this is a problem with his phone, his setup somehow,
Okay,
somewhere.
okay, hold that thought because I was wondering that myself. Jerry, can you use the information you have for this particular user and find any identical users with amplitude or sentry or both to find out if this is isolated or are there others, because I suspect where there's smoke there's fire.
I tried that with Sentry. I mean, not Sentry Amplitude. I tried that already.
You tried that yesterday, right?
I
'Cause-
tried it this morning too.
okay, because today would be a lot more possibilities because
like
we
But
just released it.
also one thing to add to that is that this problem has been a thing where this guy has been authenticated. I mean, not authenticated but signed in. So this is not introduced in this new build. I also want you guys to understand that. So
Okay,
if
is
there's
it
other
because
users who have this problem, we will be able to catch them even if they're not on 95. Now the key differences is we need to look for two things. We need to look at the variable names, like if you want to go off of console logs, we need to look at, are they authenticated? If that's false, but they're somehow onboarding is complete, that's our cue. It has to be that combination. This user's onboarding is complete, but he's not authenticated.
and Jerry, you looked for that kind of match?
Okay, we don't have the data to check if there's a match, but what I can do is I can take his data I can take his event trail in Amplitude and piece together users who had a simple trail, who had a similar trail to what he did. And I'll show you the data right now. Let me get it pulled up.
And also just keep in mind in terms of console logging, I think build, I don't know, it was 98 might be the first one, or maybe one or two builds before that is where we have access to see if the user signed in and onboarded or not. Because if you go back like build like 70 or 60, we don't have those console logs. So just another heads up for that.
Yeah.
Even though it might have been that old.
So if you go to Jeremy's data here, pull this here. Shoot. Okay. So you see anytime it's sharing the window. Okay. So you can see that he's looped. It says follow step, begin SOT, circle trust, turn on notifications. This is the data, at least I have from him, that he is stuck in this loop. Okay. So my logic is let's create a loop where they start a session, follow step completed, begin SOT, and then they end up back on that same step. They should never in a normal onboarding go back to that same step unless they re-onboard. So starting from November 1st, I gathered every user that had a similar flow. And I have 9 examples. However, let me drill into it. So you see Jeremy's in here. He's in here, you see him. But if you go to these other users, I do not get anything. So like this guy, event selected. Yep, this means this is somebody that actually onboarded fine. Maybe I could probably take a date and filter it better, like somebody that got in this loop. This would actually probably eliminate these extra users. This is somebody that
I think we suspect it'll be like a 4-digit user key, right?
okay, well, we got 2 4 digits, and here's the other 4 digit.
Which these will end up growing day by day.
Yeah, this is somebody who was on Android build. Oh yeah, this is, let's see, John Bryant. Okay, yeah, this is John Bryant, but you can see he's on build. I think I checked. Yeah, I checked him yesterday. He was on 92. Because usually when stuff is weird, it's usually his user that reports it. But I can see yesterday, or actually, let me go today, his most recent event. I have this conversation selected. He was in a chat yesterday. Looks to be, yeah. Is this yesterday? Yeah, yesterday he was checking in. I don't. Is he on? Did he ever update to 95? I know he's on 92 for sure.
Well,
Who?
if he didn't, maybe we could use this opportunity to have him.
He's on 92 right now. His
Okay.
latest replay. He might have updated overnight,
Right.
but he's on 92 and he isn't having issues where it sounds like Jeremy had this issue with 92 and 95 did not resolve it. Is that correct?
Well, 92 had a different bug that could have been there, but if but well, if this user was authenticated and signed in, then 95 will work fine.
So what broke Jeremy's build? So the
I was
92
thinking
break-
I was thinking he was in that unique case where he had 92 briefly and then went to 95, in which
That has
case
nothing to do with it. If that will work. If you're 92 and you go to 95, that will work. The problem he's having is because authenticated is false, the app is not going to load for him, no matter what he does.
So
If that value is false, the app will not load. End of
there
story.
must be other potential problems with other users that, right? Let's see.
Well, it depends. Like, how did he? Okay, so it's like maybe I think in the older build or something, he was able to, again, somehow, some way, authentication failed for him, but he was onboarded, and it's his information is cached somehow. So this will work in any other build, even though technically it's wrong, because
Yeah.
Firebase is telling you the user is not authenticated.
But
It will work in any older build.
yeah, because once he's already in, though, he wasn't having a problem.
Because he has all his data. He has his name, his user key, and all his data, and he has onboarded marked as complete. And then the all build, that's all we need. If that's there, use the app. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Now in the new build, we have to make sure they're authenticated, and that's where the problem is happening. This user is not. And when
Okay.
he deletes the app and relogs in, it doesn't start him from scratch, so he never really gets the code. And I would understand if Sentry did that once, but Sentry did that twice, and then now Jerry's saying Amplitude doesn't have any instances of him onboarding from sign up. So if okay, that now I'm 95% sure that this user did not go through sign up screen and get a code and enter it,
Okay.
which leads me to believe that it's not our app that's the problem. Something is in his environment, on his phone. Somehow it's holding on to that cache.
Okay. What do you think, Amin?
I mean, yeah, like from the data amplitude and Sentry, like when his app starts on this, and it's weird, like why it's that follow step, because it's like because after the authentication, there's other steps before then.
I mean,
Why?
you did something there at that step, right? Just recently to handle a case. Remember? Like if a person force closes the app, like where you were going to hold the SOT, like what
Mhm.
what if you change something that's doing this?
No, what I meant is like we saved where the user like the onboarding step, like the
Yeah,
user's
but just think about the coincidence of this. It's the exact step that you just worked on.
I working on like what changes exactly.
If someone force closes the app during building their circle of trust,
No, that's like the onboarding in salty. That's not the
I
same
guess it
thing.
is one more step ahead, isn't it? Yeah.
But like the changes that I did, they had nothing to do with whether this user is authenticated
Okay.
or not. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay, you're right. Let's look at what changes have we made between you and Ismail, and we've made a few, right?
and I
There's
think
the whole
those
follow-up
changes
cache,
are not merged, and those changes they are not merged with this build.
the one
It's not
we
even that. I mean, it's that his information is there. His
Yeah,
first name, last name, user key, without going through the sign up process. So that means his cache is not really cleared. Like, okay, I get that he showed us a screen record and he clicked on clear cache and he did all that. But what I'm seeing is from Amplitude, from session replay, his cache did not clear. That information doesn't just come, to his phone magically. It's stored.
yeah, it is weird. Like I would think maybe Firebase is saving it in a way where it cannot be deleted between installs and all of that. But like for example, the name, the birth date, that's we we save it to the storage, and it's the normal storage, the storage that if the app got deleted, um, like even if the user did not do the delete cache or storage, just like went into a uninstall, that should like delete every data related to the app. But it's for this user, it just persists. It's just there. It's not going away. That's why this user it's in this state. Um, well, as Ismail was suggesting, and I'm by you're against it, is like to handle this case because like we all know like if a user he is like he just opening the app, he happens he is in one of the steps post authentication, but he is not really authenticated, then we'll take the user back to authenticate. That's how we can handle this case. But we don't know why the data for this user is not being deleted when he installed the app.
Yeah, and what I'm afraid of, it's not that I'm against it. I'm just afraid of introducing a new set of problems where it's affecting users we didn't intend to
Yeah,
affect.
that's valid. Adding code meaning adding like situations you'll not be taken into consideration.
Mm.
Um, I mean, like if we can get a hold of this user and like we see like he's actually deleting the app. Yeah, I know we have like a recording from his phone and everything, but like I don't know, something is off about his environment.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll get a hold of him. And what do we want from him besides just clearing cache and stuff like that? Do we want to have him um, install like an OTA? Like, do you want any additional logs, or what do we want from him exactly?
No, just like you install the app and open it. It should be the landing page, like where you
Well,
see.
can we ask him if he sees sign up and then he enters his name, or if that skips for him? Like he doesn't have to
Yeah,
kind of screen record. Just ask him and just yes or no.
we definitely can. Yes. In fact, I have a couple other series of instructions to give him. Um,
Before
so
we have him properly clear everything, though, let's see. Send him a screenshot of what the sign up screen looks like, and ask him if he's starting at that sign up screen.
okay,
And you can tell. I can send you a screenshot of where it looks like he's starting. I have it right here. 1 second.
I have this. I have the sign up and accept main screen.
Yep.
I can send
I
to
want
him.
it. Yep. I want you to use that, and then I also want you to use what I'm about to send you now, because this is what we see. Um, so I'll just put it in development so everyone knows what I'm talking about. It appears that this is the screen, cool kid screen.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, okay, there you go. So like you have the screenshot you just mentioned. I'd like you to send that to him first.
Yep.
Say, are you starting at this screen after you uninstall, because our tools show you starting at this screen.
I see. So after he first opens the app after install.
Yeah, yeah. Would you say that's a good question? I mean,
Oh, good.
right? Ismail and I mean, that's what we want to ask him. Come on, guys.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I'm just like thinking. Yeah, we asked him like if he saw this screen before. Even like, yeah, from inputted and everything, it seems like not. But yeah, like this. I mean, he can let's just ask him questions, a yes or no question, so it's gonna be easier for him to reply. And like, did he saw that screen? If he said yes, that mean
The
it's
sign up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he starting at the sign up screen?
yeah,
Because we're going to send him this one and say it appears this is the one that you're starting on, which should not happen if you clear data. Can you go?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, like, um,
I would probably not send him. I would send him the sign up screen. Tell him, did you see this screen? Not
Yeah.
send him the one we think he landed on. It's safer.
Yeah, it's going to start. Well, Todd's going to start with the first one, and then I think you should send a follow up with the other one because people don't always know what you're asking. Like, and if you send him the evidence, he's gonna have to confirm or deny that this is not where he's starting or is where he's starting. This one I sent to Slack. Okay, so we'll go with that. And you can let him know because he's fairly tech savvy.
Yeah.
Tech savvy, and you can let him know that it is really baffling to us that he could even be starting at this screen because the data we saw him clear the data, which because he's getting frustrated. He's like, yes, I cleared
Yes,
the
he
data
is.
and I deleted it. He's told us multiple times. I mean, and Ismail, you guys and Jerry don't realize that it's not like this is only one set. We've been talking to him for 24 hours and he's very adamant he's doing it right. So I don't want to keep asking the same question over and over, but this is a new variation of it. We're going to find out which screens he's starting on. But giving him the additional information, I think he'll be able to at least identify with why we're so confused. And, he'll understand, yeah, I am clearing the data. So wait a minute, how am I skipping the name and birthday and stuff like in the authentication parts? I would like to hear his answer to that, Todd. Let me know what he said.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So I'm concerned that we're going to see this more because we just released this build. I'm also a little bit confused with this particular user. He was saying that he was still getting the white screen. Remember that, Todd? Like, I don't remember. Like, we don't know when this first started, or do we know?
We know when we first got Jeremy's email,
Mm-hmm.
which was 2 days ago.
Yeah, but he
Or
was
I'm
talking.
sorry, was it yesterday?
I don't know. He was talking to Chantel a little bit about it.
I got it right here.
Okay.
It's yeah, started yesterday on the 5th. I'm sorry, yesterday on the 6th? Yeah, 6th. Sorry, I'm so sorry. 6th.
Mm-hmm.
At 1:21 p.m. PST.
But that was.
But he did have. You're right. I'm sorry. In his email, his very first email to us, Thursday, November 6th, yesterday, he says the update, because he had a problem with the previous release. He said the update just released today didn't fix the blank screen.
Right. So he was already having the problem.
Correct.
I think 92 is when it started, Ismail, for this guy.
It could have been that crashed almost like a lot of users, which was the whole purpose of 95.
Right.
Okay. So then how many other people are in this?
Well, he said when he updated 95, it went by itself, right, Jerry?
What's that? What about 95?
Or no, sorry, not Jerry, Todd. No, sorry.
Oh.
Wait, what's the question?
When he updated to 95, it fixed by itself.
No, this
the
is
white
the guy.
screen.
This is the guy we're talking about. It's not. fixed.
Jeremy, he's in 95 and he's still having the issue.
Right.
Yeah, I know he's in 95.
Yeah.
Okay, and
so
the issue is that he's stuck at a white screen. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not. I guess I don't know.
Well, let me give you the background. This is important.
Yeah, I have the background of this user.
I mean, I want you to key in as well that so this user has indicated that they had a problem with 92. That's not crystal clear, but it seems like it because he says build 95 did not fix my issue. His issue being in build 92, he would go through onboarding. We don't know if it's the beginning of onboarding or halfway or whatever, but he would do some portion of onboarding and he would be into the home stack with a white screen and only a nav bar. He said yesterday that updating to 95 after clearing cache and all that did not solve the problem, meaning he still goes through some portion of onboarding and has a white screen with only the bottom nav bar, not our nav bar, the Android nav bar. And I'm thinking this is related to what we did because we worked on the nav bar. I don't know if that's related. We worked on some of these onboarding authentications things. There's a couple things we worked on onboarding. So it just seems like there's some correlation to what we've done recently. And that's all I know for now, but does that make sense? He's got a white screen with just his Android nav bar.
Can we have his user key? Let me see if we can find my session replay and see what's going on there.
Yeah,
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's share his user key in the book.
What user key?
This user, that John was describing, is easier. Like,
This is Jeremy you're talking
Yes.
about, Don?
Yes.
4147.
So I mean, what we were talking about a little bit yesterday, what would cause him to be able to go through and then let's just it'll have the nav bar?
well, it's like the nav bar. It's gonna be there. It's not related to the issue. Like the changes we did to the nav bar, it's not. That was only an onboarding, and it just like having the nav bar there. It doesn't interfere with it is onboarding or home stack, and it's only in onboarding. The changes that I did only is like in onboarding. Isn't like this uses the same user we've been talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so this user has the same thing. This user in 95, he went through onboarding, and he did not have a white screen when he first onboarded. He onboarded normally, but he started at the same step that the other person started on.
You're looking at the same user.
Oh wait, this is the same user.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I'm confused. Isn't this? Are you guys talking about a different user here? I'm confused.
No. Same user.
Okay, this is the same thing we've been talking about.
So what are we talking about? Sorry, You guys are now saying white screen.
That was always the case starting yesterday when we were going back and forth in Slack. This was the situation. The user,
He was stuck on a black screen.
yeah, like after finishing onboarding.
Yeah. Okay. So because you said white screen, and I thought you were talking about a different user now.
Yeah, too.
I don't know if it's white or black. I just know there's no.
It's black. So okay, so we're back to talking about the same user. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I was like, yeah. This. Okay. Okay. I thought we were talking about a different user here. And a
Okay.
different problem.
No worries. So now we have the full picture, but we don't know why it's happening, and we need to fix this and potentially.
Yeah. Well, I will say, from what I can see, the problem is 90%. It's his cache is not clearing. Even though I know he tried, I know he did that. It's persistent somehow, some way. And the good news is, if that is the case, it's not going to be widespread. It's going to be local to him, or if anybody else is somehow experiencing this. Why this is happening, that's what I don't know. It could be an Android thing. I don't know if it's necessarily related to our app one way or the other. there might be no connections. It could be something on his phone. But I can almost guarantee you that this is because his cache did not clear, and I can also with certainty say this will not be widespread, especially with new users, or recent users, even old. Like we don't know how many people will be affected by this, but I would say it's probably going to be very little. So since it looks like an Android bug.
Okay, I'm not confident in that.
Ismail, I have a question. So remember, like when you worked on this new context to handle the user if it's authenticated, there's like you dispatch an event to a reducer. So there's this event. Like I left a comment on it yesterday on the development. Let me find the exact count for you. Hoping you can. um, like I pinged you again on that the comment. You seen it on development channel?
Let me see. The one with where you take me to onboarding, case onboarding complete.
Yeah, that event. Like I did a search for that onboarding completed, and it was never triggered or emitted.
Yeah, I guess when I first created this object, there was mm,
Because like if you see the object you're returning there, it has the status authenticated. I only see that status authenticated in that case. So
mm,
if that event is not emitted, that means the status it won't change to authenticated. That's why the user
well,
or
no, it was like that before. I mean, if you look at the screenshot I sent you, and in your private message, you'll see that this is so we used to call it signed in, and then is signed in and onboarded complete. That was in build 89, and that was still the case for him. Did you see that image I sent?
hmm yeah, I saw
So
that.
so this is happening before. Now what you're saying is valid. This like the onboarding complete might not be initiated, but I think is this code still the case? Let me see, because I remember looking at this and I made some tweaks. But no, it works. If you look at users who onboarded through 95, like just pick a random one, you'll see that
Why
they're both
that case
true.
is yes. Like why we handling a case that we never trigger?
Correct. And I think, like I said, when when I first created this, I um it okay.
So
So when I first created this, Firebase had multiple responses, and then I realized we don't need all of them. We just need two,
so when
whether
that
they're authenticated or not. So
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 okay,
that means yeah, we can technically remove that,
if
but
we're
it
gonna,
being there wouldn't cause a bug. But yeah, we can technically remove it.
and when the status is gonna be authenticated, like where the change, like where do you set static? The status equal to that.
Okay, so give me a second here. Let me get that for you. Um, so we're gonna need to look at the is authenticated variable.
But that variable is derived from the status from this context status.
So let's see here. So it's initialized in that. So we get it from auth state equals to authenticated. Um, that's where we get this authenticated variable from. And auth state comes
Mm,
from
I'm sure with
use
that.
authentication.
Can you share with us your screen? I want to see like what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, just a little.
Okay.
So if we go to routing, like I said, this is the variable that we know if the user's
Okay.
authenticated or
And
not.
if you see that on that line, we
Mhm.
don't check to see if the status.
Well, not yeah. This one right here. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. One
That
of one
yeah,
of
authenticated.
check
Correct.
the status equal to authenticated.
Mm-hmm.
Here, we're just reading the status when we are writing to the status to be equal to authenticated.
Okay, let's look at it. So we're using this use authentication is coming from here, and in here, this is the context. And if we look at where else we use it, we can see that we use it.
The hook is just to read this state. You need to go inside the context to find where you set in the state. Yep, go inside the context. Yep, go there. But not use context, but authenticate. Nope. Yeah, go there. This is
Yeah,
what I suppose you where you set in the state because like you're passing the state through the provider. Like if you scroll down,
authenticated. Yeah, and then yeah, okay. Um, so we have user data up. Okay, so case. Yeah, so we're passing that to it, and if we're returning here, we've onboarded completed, we pass in that. Okay. Mm,
so you can see this is the only place where I see the status is equal to authenticated. It's by dispatching the onboarding completed, right?
yes.
And if this event was never dispatched, meaning the status will never be authenticated.
Mhm. Okay. Let's kind of take a look at in the code and maybe trace it a little bit here. Um,
I would say like if you want to test it, like I know it's the same, but just for the sake, maybe you can use an Android emulator. You will need to delete the app and have it there.
we're looking for the instance of this, which, yeah, I mean, I'll do it on an Android, but I think for the sake of this argument, particularly, we're just trying to figure out where this is called.
No,
So,
you just did a search in the code there. It's not being triggered from anywhere.
mm,
You don't need the simulator to know if it's triggered.
mm,
See, like it's but this one you'll find that it's being used. Like you dispatch this one. Like the third one, like go to the third one, the search. No, like
mhm.
from the search. The search, like the panel search.
The panel search
Like,
here.
yeah, like go to yep, the third one. Yep, click on that one. See
Oh,
here, you dispatch the event here for this for this type. You are dispatching it, but for the onboarding completed, there's no trace of calling a dispatch with that type.
Okay, but it is being set from another way. Let me try to remember how this was all done. Give me a second. Because it's if we look at from this perspective, you can see that it's true, right?
This is true because you just opened the app and
Correct.
you're dispatching this from an event called user data loaded, mean when a user opens the app. Now, a true test,
Correct.
you have to log out, log out.
Mm-hmm.
I would say delete the app too, and just log out, delete the app, like close it.
Okay. But I'm just curious if we just before even deleting it, because it's gonna take a second to delete and rebuild.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just curious to see what we're gonna get. So it's
So
false.
Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, go
okay.
through the onboarding and see.
Yeah, let's go through onboarding.
and I mean, what are you suspecting? Hey, why is that button still down there on the notch?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's because the keyboard is hidden here.
No, I know, but there's supposed to be more of a safe area like that one.
Oh,
Hmm.
I
Wonder
didn't.
what.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought like we thought it's related to the new architecture, but it's not. It was when I worked on merging these two screens.
Hmm. Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, we didn't fix it. We didn't work on
yeah.
it.
So
Hmm.
first of all, can you see how these both are still false up until this point?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. And I think I need to enable a certain stash to app check. So we just have ability to. So let's go ahead. And up until now, it's still false, as you can see. So now let's go and clear it. Let's enter the code. And now, still showing as false.
By now it should be true, right?
Mm, let's wait for it to log it out again. Maybe we never logged it out. Let's see. Maybe for the app too. How's it not? Okay, maybe the router didn't re-trigger yet for this to log out again or re-render. Okay. So now it's true. So eventually it does get set to true. Mm, but it was at the last step.
Well, yeah. Now you are seeing the start convo. Maybe that user, there's no start convo for that
For
user.
them. Yeah.
That's why it it did not get to true, and it should not be. It should not be related to start convo. I know, like this is weird.
Mm, but I mean, we've seen other people on board who don't have Star Convo, I think, and still got in. I don't think everybody has a Star Convo when they first log in. But um, yeah, okay. So let's see what's going. Mm, let's see how. Let's see what happens. Probably if we go to like um, onboarding, and if we want to look at so the last screen that user sees is they go to they'll be at the notification, and then they would click on either they would trigger this, which will take them to the CU and Circles screen. And in this one, probably going to have something to take the user to the next screen. Action, last step. So what's the last step in this case? The screen. Which we have navigate them to home. Which we go to and okay. What this does is it's the user sets onboarding to complete. Nothing here seems related to Would anything here send authenticated to true? Doesn't look like it.
It's not happening here, but like here we set in state that's gonna trigger side effects since other places where the authentication should be true, but it's not. Like
So, but yeah, technically, like you do bring up a good point where the authenticated true does have to be set a bit earlier in the app, like after the user enters the code, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good point, and we probably should do it that way. The only thing is, it is being done in another way, which we have to obviously see how it's being done. But that doesn't explain also the behavior of that user and what's happening to him.
Yeah, that doesn't explain it. It just
Yeah.
the user is in this weird limbo of like the last thing that was saved, it was like on the follow step, but data is removed. Like not like everything got removed from for him when he deleted the app. Only like some partial data that got removed, which is weird.
Let me see if also if I was able to pick up maybe the health speed us find where this is being happening to. But yeah, I mean, I see your point there. So, but yeah, even if we fix something, we'll fix it for that specific user. Like even if we do the changes we're talking about,
Yeah.
we won't fix it for him.
It might not fix it, but would it prevent this from happening if it like if um he hadn't used the app? Would it have avoided it?
It's more of us updating this earlier throughout the app. I think it probably won't, like, it will be better practice, but it won't necessarily affect the users as far as I can tell.
Okay. What do you think there? I mean,
I don't think. No, I disagree. It's not like a better practice. We have to because, like, how do we set the status to authenticated without dispatching the event? So we
Well, we
have
have to find
to.
out how it's done because it's being done, and I'm saying like the way we should do it is at that after we authenticate with Firebase. So yes, that part I agree with, but what I'm saying is right now it's being done, and we still are figuring out how
Mm,
what's triggering it, but it is being done, is what I'm saying, because we see it get set to true, and users are getting in the app. And if that was the case, nobody would get in the app in 95. Um, so yeah, like what I'm saying is, yeah, we shouldn't be doing it this way. We should be doing it the other way. But what I'm saying is, I don't think the users would necessarily see a difference now.
Okay, I see. So
or there could be hidden problems that we still don't know.
yeah, that's so it's
Yeah.
being set. It's just like we don't know where, we don't understand how it's being set for now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what you're theorizing here is, could this be a deep-rooted problem for multiple users? Should we be concerned?
As Ismail said, if it was like for more users, like no one should be, because like from what my understanding, no one should be able to get to the onboarding
But
because of
maybe they
some.
don't need to get to the onboarding if they simply just update overnight, automatically update from the apps store. See, like, but as soon as they go to onboarding now, they're in trouble.
Exactly, like
Okay, this is where it's being updated. I mean, to answer your question.
yeah, I can see it, but like it's been updated, but behind the case that's called user data loaded.
Correct.
So you have to see also when we dispatch that event.
Yeah. So I guess. Um. mm, Well, okay.
Like, do you understand how this
Yeah,
really
yeah.
be
So
working?
the way when we dispatch it is that
It's being dispatched inside the use effect that's going to be triggered based on the dependencies you pass in there, the
correct.
user and the status. And I guess, yeah,
So I think I remember what happened now when I was working with this. Um, mm, which I guess it ended up changing it a little bit, but when onboarding completed, um, well, this is called onboarding completed, right? And uh, Firebase shouldn't necessarily care about when onboarded is completed. It just cares about if the user authenticated or not. Um, so this right here is okay. So I think, yeah, initially, I just had this, right? Remember how we wanted one source of truth? Now it's coming back to me. What happened? Sorry,
mhm.
that it's just because we had it like I had so much in that PR. I forget sometimes why things are done. But anyways, initially we just wanted one source of truth, and then that source of truth, well, I wanted to be connected to Firebase and the user data being there, because if we're just going to have one variable, which is like is authenticated, be the determines whether the user should still be in onboarding or be here in the app in the lobby, we have to make sure that the user data is there. Like them being authenticated wasn't enough. Um, so that's where, and then we had, and then I guess there was a miss, and then yeah, I guess because of the naming, because over here it says user has to be authenticated and onboarding has to be complete. Um, which yes, so what that means is this one tells us if the user is authenticated, correct, and if the user data is there. This is what this is for. If it's authenticated and the user data is there. So what that means is they have first name, last name, birthday, and they went through Firebase. This will be true. Now, this last step tells us if the user finished onboarding. Now you can see how these two are different, and we need both of them to be true. Now, this last step only gets triggered if the user actually finishes onboarding, right? If they go through the last step, we called it right here, right? And this function
Yeah,
is called.
yeah, I get that how those two are different. I understand that. Just like it's not being reflected in the code
It is.
because you can see like the onboarding completed. It says authenticated true, status equal to authenticated. If you go back to the reducer, go back to the reducer code.
Oh, there was user code. I thought it said user. That was in here.
Like if you scroll a little bit down, scroll there, or app. Sorry. Yeah, it's like this is the reducer.
Okay.
No, is this the reducer?
Oh,
It doesn't look like it's the reducer.
the user for which one? So I think I might be misunderstanding you.
The reducer where you set the state.
What
Where you
state?
can- yeah, here. This is the reducer. It says like authentication reducer in the name.
Okay.
Um um yeah, if you scroll to the onboarding completed,
This one again. This one is not. Okay.
okay, so
Let's maybe I think this is confusing you. We don't care
yeah,
about this one.
yeah. So yeah, okay, it's not this. Okay.
Yeah.
Um
I'll focus on this one. This one sets it.
this one says so okay.
Yeah.
All right. And again, when this is being dispatched, like do we in this like is it like predictable? Like
Okay. So I mean here, it's when the state equal is authenticating, and
that's inside the use effect. Like what's gonna trigger the use effect
well, the state and the user.
when the user
So
changes and the status changes?
hmm?
Like yeah, when those two changes, like and when those two changes, like the
This
stat.
well, the state I'm assuming is going to be coming from. Does this come from Firebase? So okay, let me see how this will. Um, yeah, I'm in here, huh? Whatever it does, state come from.
It's
Because
like if you scroll a little bit down, you'll find it. It's this is a function you call in it. Like the author, that's just a function you are calling it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's being called like down at the very bottom of the file.
correct. And we
Yeah.
pass. Okay. Uh, So this, yeah, state translate based on Firebase auth changes. So the state would be reflect what Firebase returns us. Now how does it do that?
Are you dispatching events from the Firebase or changes? Are you doing that?
Okay, let's see. What was the name of that file? Let me it will be. I guess what's the easiest way to check that? If we are. I guess yeah, we're gonna be called dispatch. So we do dispatch, and then we're looking for how do we, so we're gonna basically we're trying to see if we dispatch state in when Firebase changes. So it says yes, and it says this is where it happens. So we dispatch Firebase change, and then goes to Firebase.
And again, this is inside a use effect that depends on Firebase user. Like,
Correct.
gonna be triggered when Firebase user changed. So
Correct.
you need to go and find where, yeah, where it's been that one set. On a side note, dispatching events should be it should not be from you. Use effects, they're like evil and they're unpredictable. Yeah, they're sometimes you need them, really, really need them. But if you find yourself having two, three use effects to handle one thing, that means like things are might go wrong, and they will go wrong. That's like for dispatching event, like you can dispatch it directly from there, where it's the Firebase user is being set, not relying on us on a use effect. That's just a side note.
I mean, how come you didn't make a note of that when you reviewed the PR?
Well, that PR was big, and I reviewed it, and we went through a lot of things, and I remember like it was like we went on it like Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Like me and this man worked on it. Like we went on a lot of other details regarding this PR, and yeah, and we missed this one. This it's not like it's missed, but like we were focusing on other stuff that we overlooked this one because you will only notice it when you have problems. Then you'll be like, oh, okay, it makes sense why this is not working because this and this and this.
I see. Okay, well, let's stay with this. Ismail's got to drop off in a few minutes. I think, right, Ismail?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but I don't want to break this chain of thought that we're on. So, what have you guys learned? What's the decision to make? What are we doing?
Well, I would say so far we have like code improvements. Like for example, the way to do things a little different. But then again, all this is not solving that guy's problem.
I agree on that. Yeah, it's not.
So
Did it contribute to the problem?
no, I don't think so because that guy's starting with his data there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that guy's case.
everything was triggered by something.
It was
Triggered by recent work we did.
it was triggered in the build before 92,
Okay.
and before I don't know what build, and I don't know if it's even triggered by us. It could be his cache is not clearing. If his cache is not clearing, and he has again in our new code we check if he's authenticated or not, which we didn't care about in the past, as I mentioned.
Okay. We're going to find other cases of this. It's going to happen again.
I mean, so we need to see if the problem is his phone or not. That's if we can rule that out, then we can say yes, the problem is in the app.
Okay.
Now, if the problem is with his phone, there's nothing we can do. If
Oh,
his cache is not clearing properly or something's going on, that's
yeah.
not on us.
I don't know how we determine that, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure either, but I'm just saying, like that's what I'm saying. Okay, everything we talk about now, yeah, sure, they're like good improvements or stuff we can work on. For like again, better practice, maybe not using a lot of use effects and so on. Like, yeah, sure, I agree with a lot of that, but it's not necessarily addressing that problem.
okay. Um, Dear, I think you found at least one other user that was having the same problem.
No, I could not find any other users. I found his user, but I couldn't find anybody else in that funnel I made.
Okay. Okay, so what do we want to do next? Todd, did you hear back from him yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Still waiting. He might have it 8 to 5. Who knows?
Right. Okay. So what are we going to do besides wait for more people to have problems?
I mean, we have to see if the problem is from his phone or not, because we don't want to be wasting time chasing a ghost if the problem is with his phone.
Yeah.
And I can see from so far that this is not widespread. Like we can't find any other user, and I'm not saying that it won't happen again. But what I'm saying is, if it is a problem with the Android phone itself, it could be beyond our reach to fix. And if that is the case, then we're wasting our time.
Is his issue similar to the one that I'm dealing with?
What are you dealing with?
The one where mine's sitting at a sign up screen.
No. And that one also I want to talk about more because I have 0 session replays of that user using the app yesterday.
Right, because it wasn't used.
So how can you? I mean, even if you land on a sign up screen, won't that trigger a session replay at least or something?
Oh, you tell me. I have no clue.
Um, I mean, yeah, I would assume. Do you have any amplitude?
Amplitude is on.
So one of the users for Todd, which was, I think Todd sent me the user key. This is the user key, put in development.
All right, so we were looking at this user, and you're saying this is a user that Todd was having issues with.
So he's saying that this user logged out by itself, and just to answer your first question, Todd, this is not the same problem. Like the other user, we think he opens the app, he starts at cool kid screen or pick your.
When was they signed out?
So Todd was saying he was signed out yesterday.
Jerry, this was a phone that was upgraded from 92 to 95 2 days ago before we released it to the public. It worked just fine, and then it was released the next day. And I guess I didn't use the phone at all yesterday up until about 4:30 p.m. last night. I went to use the phone for the first time since the day before, went to open the Circles app and was presented with a sign up screen, which is where I'm at right now.
So you are on the sign up screen right now.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if I can maybe filter by that IP address, because I do not see a record in amplitude, which means that your data is cleared. There's no user key present, which is almost like representative of a fresh install state. Let me see if I can find anything on session replay. Negative.
Right.
Anything in amplitude? Let's see.
And also, Todd, can you give us more details? Because I think I was a little confused. Because you were telling me you were mid chat, and then you looked away and then logged out.
Well, that's what I thought.
But you could have been on another phone mid chat.
Yeah, I'll try and make it as clear as possible. I'm sorry. Yesterday, I hadn't used any of the phones from the day before that we did upgrades to 95 with. So I was going to do some testing yesterday with all 4 phones, just some regular use. And I went to just open the app on each of the 4 phones, one after the other, just to get them into the app.
Mhm.
Went to one phone, hit the Circles app, went to the next phone, hit the Circles app. By the time I looked back at the other phone, the first one, the one that I'm with now, that particular one, I believe, opened up with just a sign up screen. The other ones opened up to the message lobby.
But that's different if that's the
Yeah.
first time you open the app, where you told me it happened to you mid-session.
No, I know. I said I was mistaken.
Oh, okay.
So right now, are you signed in or out on that phone?
Well, when you say that, I'm just looking at a screen that says sign up and accept. I've done nothing since yesterday. I've left it on this screen.
Okay, so right now, it says you are signed out.
Okay, which
No.
which would make sense in a way because I'm at a sign up screen.
Well, I'm asking, not stating, but
Oh,
this is
do you want me
okay.
to
So you don't recall
share the screen with
signing
this phone and we can run through some things? Or
what I don't see is I don't see any events of you using the app. The last event I have from you in one signal for this device, one signal amplitude, is at 2:27 local time yesterday.
wait, an amplitude.
Yes,
Okay,
but
Okay.
that is when you were in the authenticated state.
okay.
So I
That
do
was
not.
about the time right there, Todd, where you showed me your phone about 2:20.
Yeah, it sounds about that's about right.
Right, but Ismail was thinking that there was no evidence of the use of the phone yesterday, but sounds like there is
Right.
evidence in amplitude
What it sounds like.
because that would support your. You thought you were in the message lobby.
I thought I was.
Okay, do you see him in the message lobby, Jerry? According to amplitude.
Let me view this. Oh wait, what is this? Is this your phone? Todd, what phone is this?
It's when you say that, do you mean device hardware? Do you mean
Right.
username, user key?
F21 FE5G.
S21, yes.
Ah, okay. I see it in amplitude. Now it was a different IP address. I guess you were in a different location,
Yes.
but okay. So I see in amplitude, it's recognizing it as a completely separate device. So let me double confirm that. Let me copy this tab. And what was the user ID that? Let me see.
It should be let me see.
I think I got it from. Oh, I got it from Ismail here. So the device ID. Okay. Device ID 946. Yeah, it's registered as a completely different device.
How is that possible?
It's almost as if there may have been like a fresh install. The first instance I see of this device is at 6:35 local time on version 93.
Yeah. And that was at what time and what day?
Yesterday.
It was on 93 yesterday?
No, you were on 95 yesterday at 6:35 local time.
Okay. Let me think about this.
But he's saying that the only instance of you being at 95 yesterday is at that sign up screen. You were never in the lobby. Is that correct, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm going back. So in amplitude, he is assigned a different device ID. That normally happens after like an uninstall.
Okay. At what time?
The first time I see this unauthenticated device is at 6:35. The last time PM
PST?
PST.
Okay.
The last time that I see you logged in was 2:27 PST.
Okay.
But the device ID is different,
That's
which
weird.
means to me
that cache data was cleared. Like,
Yeah.
and you do not recall doing that?
No, absolutely not. No, I just turned the phone on for the first time that day that I recall, and didn't show John the
Or
screen. I was looking at.
maybe you like installed the app yesterday, like not yesterday, the day before.
Maybe the day before, sure.
Yeah, but you never opened it, and maybe you cleared cache or you uninstalled.
Yeah. If I would have installed something, I would have taken it to the message lobby and done some testing. I can't fathom me doing an install but not opening the app.
But I mean, okay, but the good news is, I don't think it happened where you went to the lobby and then it automatically signed out. So with that, that's a big because like that was the
Right.
purpose of this whole refactor.
Right.
So that doesn't happen.
Right.
So yeah, I would say maybe like okay, I don't know if this is again this is one of those things where we don't want to be chasing a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we keep an eye out on if this behavior happens again. In terms of like, I think what could have happened is I'm not sure because 93 is the old build technically. It's same as 90, 80, 89.
Okay.
And then I think we reverted it back, didn't we? If I remember correctly. And then I think 90. We have 94. We have 95. And then one of them reverted it back. I forgot which one's which. But yeah, it looks like the cache was cleared on that phone somehow, some way.
If I was to go look at the cache, if we say the thing it's cleared, would it say 0 cache, 0 megabytes?
Well, now that you open the app, I don't know if anything gets added initially.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess what you're describing is I don't know what do you guys think? I mean, I have to drop here soon. I just want to like
Well,
before I drop it, I want to have everything kind of summed up.
should I do anything? Should I attempt to just close the app and reopen and see if it but just puts itself back in the app on its own, or if it presents me at the welcome screen again?
Yeah, try that. Let me see if I can find a session replay real quick for Ismail drops. User IP. Let me use this new IP address. Now
I looked at that. I looked at the user key yesterday, and it had 0 session replays.
yeah, I don't have any session replays for that IP address or that user key. So I'm just left going on Amplitude here. And Amplitude, from what I see, has a different device ID. And a different device ID means that data got cleared. Now, Todd, could this just be? I mean, I know you've said it before, but just by habit, you clear the data. Anytime you do something,
I would only do that if I was going to uninstall and reinstall. It's the only time I'd ever clear data, clear cache.
Okay. Because that's the only thing that I can see here is it looks like that the data was cleared.
I was sitting next to him. We were working on totally separate things. There's no way he cleared the data.
Mm-hmm. All right. You guys mind if I force close this and reopen and see if it like goes back into the app or just brings me back to the screen?
Yeah, give it a go.
Let me screen record real quick while we're talking.
Okay,
I'm just gonna...
I do have to drop, unfortunately. I'll be back soon.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll just come pick up with you guys as soon as I'm back.
All right. Well, I'm definitely at the sign up screen again, so it's not like it's trying to bring me back in.
Yeah. I think a quick summary before I go is, yeah, what you're experiencing may not necessarily, it may be a bug, it may not, we still don't know. We'll do more investigating to the best of our ability.
Okay.
As for the other user, as I mentioned, we know why it's happening. We don't know. I mean, we know that his cache is not getting cleared. And as far as what me and Amin talked about, those are good app changes that we can make. Like they'll probably make the app more reliable, but I don't think they're necessarily related to any of the bugs we're talking about right now. That's just to kind of sum everything up until this point. Does that all make sense? Or does anybody not agree with this?
So far, yeah, we should make those changes. Yes. When you get back, let's keep investigating what is potentially a deeper rooted problem.
Well, I would recommend. Yes, okay. I think we've investigated to the max of our ability here at this point in terms of for that user. I think the conclusion we've came to is his phone is not clearing the cache. If there's somehow some way we can, I don't know how we can confirm that or deny that. If his phone did actually clear the cache or not. I know he clicked on it, but all the amplitude and Sentry is telling us that the cache was not cleared. Now this is not from us, and then we have to go off of that data, because if we're not going off of that data, then what are we going off of? It'll just be theories. It's not. There's no solid proof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looked like it from the screen record, but yeah.
So I guess all I'm saying is, at this point, I mean, me and Amy could have one more work session to do the code improvements he talked about. But again, I don't think that would necessarily be the problem. And I think the code as is works. We see it work. And the improvements might make it more reliable. It might fix bugs that we don't even know about. It might not necessarily fix any bugs. The code as is could be working. It's just like I said, it could be done in a better way, that's fine. There's always ways to improve the code. And again, everything Amin said was valid, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the code is bugged or it's wrong in logic or it's not working, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what that means is it's not an urgent update. It's we'll improve it so it becomes easier to build off of. It's a stronger base.
I'm going through some session replays. I'm going to try and determine if it is more urgent than not. But
Yeah, and that's fine. And like I said, we can work on it sooner rather than later. I don't mind at all. Like I finished the whole, or I'm not finished, but I did the whole session. The whole the purchases. Like I pretty much wrapped that up. There's still some work to be done, but I'm free to work on that. So we can do the improvements and we can test them and push them. But also, you do have to know that us even doing those improvements by itself is a risk, because we will be changing how this all works again. But this time it's not a full refactor. It's just, well, we're going to call it improvements, and it probably is, but that still doesn't mean it's not risky. And it like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. It's makes me nervous that we keep tinkering with it. Maybe making things worse. For think we're solving something here, but breaking something here. It makes me very nervous.
Like I said, so far I don't see anything that's app related. If that helps at all. The data, not me. The data is telling us our app is working fine. There's a problem with that user's phone.
Yeah.
With Todd telling us the cache was clear somehow. Again, I know, what I'm saying is I'm just going off data. Like Todd is saying he didn't do that, and I believe him, but we also have to go based off of data, because if we have to, like, what's the whole point of Sentry and Amplitude if we're not going to use that data?
Right. Well, okay. I'm going to go through more session replays. I have a feeling I'm going to find problems. I just found a different problem. I'm going to talk to Mean about it in a sec. But when you're back, let's jump back in and see if there are other cases that we can identify. Maybe we have more information.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Ismail.
Thanks, Ismail.
I mean, take a look, and Jerry, maybe too. This is a session replay just from 20 minutes ago. New user, South Africa on Android, and it's kind of odd. They do have a user ID, so they got through the authentication. But if you look at the step where they authenticate their code, it says auth code expired. The error, that we get from Firebase, but apparently they still proceeded, and I'm super confused by that. So take a look. Maybe you guys can figure out what is going on with that.
Let's see if the logs say anything. If
Okay.
the logs would be more reliable than I understand it's visual. But
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. The logs are definitely more precise. And on a side note, I mean, did you fix where the text is up above? You'll see also where it says now enter the code I sent you. The text is cut off, like some of those.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. We just talked about yesterday. I did not work on it. When I'm gonna have a chance, I'll work on that with the buttons that are close to the save area.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what's going on with this authentication. Let me know what it if there's
Yeah.
more anything more revealed with the data. Really weird.
All right, here's your key. Reset verification. Phone number. Oop, this is 153. Okay, I gotta go here. Um, input change, attempting to verify code. Word button press, attempting to verify code. Off status, authenticated. It looks like perhaps, let's see, do we get a Firebase auth change? So we get an authentication. Um, I, I wonder if it like tried to authenticate him twice, like, or maybe like the login attempt was requested twice because I
Hmm.
see there's attempting to verify code.
Could a user press the button twice? Is that possible? Like real
I was
fast?
going to ask Amin that maybe something happened where two inputs are registered because there's the log attempting to verify code that happens twice, which would indicate, which would be, yeah, because the first attempt, this one, would get them through. But then if we tried to re authenticate with that same code, like you see here, then it says, no, this code's already used, but the user's authenticated. Because we can see here, it's like verifying SMS code, and then boom, they're authenticated.
Yeah, there's something weird there. Like I can see logs are being logged twice, and
Mm,
that's weird. That shouldn't happen.
yeah.
The user needs to press the button twice very fast.
Yeah, that's probably impossible. Maybe
Mhm.
it's one of the fallback things we did on that. Remember, we had a retry.
I
Like that's
removed that code. Let me see if what version he's using. He's using 95. Yeah, that's removed, and like we don't do retries. Let me
double
see the
check.
log. Let me
Okay.
check the log.
Just let Amit get going here. Amit, do you have an update for us? We'll let you go.
Yes. Yes, John. So today I work on the issue which we discussed yesterday, like podcast profile was not loading. So I tried to favorite several entertainment profile, and I mean I already pinged you, so we are able to redirect all the profile there. And the user which are facing, I can see it, they have 5 total alerts from the alert screen. It's all from profile working fine. Did not see any problem there. Did you find anything there, Amin? Or have not
Mm,
found it?
no, I didn't find like yeah, I didn't find like I could not reproduce it. I told you like I was only to be able to reproduce it if I'm on QA, but production I'm not able to reproduce that
Maybe
black.
that profile will not be there. That's why.
Okay, so but still, so that's the only way of like for the black screen to happen on a profile screen. Either but yeah, you said like the profile key that was
Yeah,
bad.
okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll actually look at that again and see what's going on. Cause like I don't know how to reproduce it. So
So John, basically my point is it's not problem for the all of the entertainment profile. It's related to data specific on, and it's can be reproducible only from the app side.
Okay. What do you want to do then?
I need to work with later.
yeah, we need to investigate that more to see what's going on. Cause like
Okay. Maybe on Monday.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to add then on that?
Yeah. And Todd, can you please prepare notification for Monday also? Some at least one.
I'll let him know. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right. Take it easy.
I mean, did you need me checking anything from that session replay still, or you're just looking into it?
I'm still following the logs there. It don't make sense why everything is being twice. Like every log is twice for this user.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Also, like the session replay is weird. Like, oh yeah, now it's working. I was not seeing he's entering any. But yeah, here is two. Yeah, just because it's lagging.